So all you need today for this painting that we're going to do is your primary colors of red, yellow, and blue, and some green and brown and some white, and you can put some black on there too if you want. These have really nice bristles and they're great for your trees and your bushes, and this is going to be used for your background, okay? And then we have a flat synthetic brush, chiseled edge, and I have a flat a Filbert brush, which is chiseled edge and synthetic, and I also have a liner brush. Okay, so the first thing I want to do to get a nice background get ready for our birch trees, and I'm thinking there's probably, I got some ultramarine blue and some yellow, and I'm thinking we could have some background trees just to have them in the background there. Alright, so we'll just get some of these on the go. And this is pretty simple. You just dip into you make your own green if you like. I like making my own green because then I can get whatever values I want. And I don't know, I just find it much easier and prettier. So this will be a background for our birch trees. So in the background, it's like in a forest or something, okay? So we'll do that, and we'll get all that done. So I'm thinking maybe we will just come down as far as here, and this will be a grassy area here. All right, so let's do that. So that kind of looks like a forest, doesn't it? Might have a bit of light sticking out through some of the leaves there. We're just making some bright spots there, just to have it in case there's some light coming out through there. So lots of nice bushes and trees and everything in the background. Isn't that nice? Add a little bit of a whiter color there. Just trying to get a bit of a center to have a bit of lightness there. That's pretty. Down here I'm just going to put on some paint, green paint. I'm going to put on dark green paint down here. I'm just going to make this simple. I'm just going to use my flat chiseled edge synthetic brush and make my paint a bit dark. Just have a bit of a, oops, just have a bit of a dark green going on here. Just for an underpainting more than anything. Just put it on any way you want. You can put different colors in there. Look, red, blue, green. Doesn't matter. It's an underpainting, so you can do whatever you want down here, okay? Just want to show you that you can do whatever you want down here. Any colors you want. Maybe some leftover paint that you have on your, palette. Oh. Alright, so just use some leftover paint that you have on your palette, and that way you get all these colors going on down here. Isn't that pretty? Nice for a change, isn't it? Nice for a change. Sometimes I like to change things up a little bit just for a bit of fun. Just to show you that you don't have to have everything so. Unless you want to. It's up to you. Do whatever you want. It depends on what kind of an artist you want to be too, right? If you want to be an artist that has everything in perfection so that you can sell your paintings, a lot of paintings that sell are not purely perfection, they're just They sell because their colors are so beautiful. They matches their living room or their bedroom or their bathroom. You know, different things like that. So there's many reasons why paintings sell. But they have to make some sense. Now that's not bad. That's nice. And when that dries, we're going to put our birch trees on there, okay? And then we will work around that. So let your paint dry first, and then we will put on our trees. We'll get a few trees in the background, and I was thinking you could start with white. If you want to put white on first, and then put your darks in for your birch trees. Or you can start with black and put on your whites after. So I'm thinking either way is good. So I'm going to go with the black so you can see it. So I have a small flat brush here, and I'm going to just put on some smaller ones in the background, just thinner ones. And as we come forward, they'll get bigger. So just put some small ones. And these look like tree leaves already, don't they? So we can shape them up a bit more after. We will take them. I'm just going to start off with something here. Chiseled edge, okay. I'm just going to add some trees back here. Join some of them up together. That gives kind of more of a realistic look. Love these chiseled edge brushes. You can get these beautiful great lines. Great lines. We're just trying to put some. I don't know why I curved that one. Getting very artistic. I'm just getting some smaller ones and bigger ones. Well, smaller ones. Okay. These are in the background, so they're nice and thin. The thinner they are, the more distance you'll create. Using the chiseled edge of my brush to get these. Now as we come forward, we're going to make them bigger. So you can decide where you want some extra ones. So you can put a dot here, 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 here. Just to get some idea where you want your trees. Okay? There's a dot here. Because it brings it forward then, see? So this time I'm going to push a little harder. Get a bigger tree. You may end up going over some of your trees. That's okay. There's another one here. Nice. One out further here so we can push it hard. You may need to get a bigger brush now in a little while. Another one back here. So it's back further, as you can see. There's another one here. Just get your chiseled edge. Another one here. I'm going to go here. Good. Nice forest tree, see? Another one back here. It's probably this one. And another one over here. Good. That one is too close to that one. Go over it again if you need to, you know, if you can see through it. If it's transparent, just go back over it again. See that the flat chiseled edge brush will give you, see how the lines, you know, if you used a bristle brush, there wouldn't be a straight line like that on the edge. Nice. Good. Bring that up here a little bit. Okay, getting there. Time get a bigger one. See, that's why I always tell you to make sure you have at least 3 different sizes of brushes, of each brush, right? Because you got your small one that I just used, and that's a medium one, see? And then you can have a nice big one. Maybe 4 even, you know? Maybe there's a size in between those two. There is too. There's this size here, see? So, I mean, if you got, and these are all flat synthetic brushes. So if you got these, and if you can find one even smaller than this one here, go for it, okay? So 4 or 5. I say 3 because at least 3 you'll have enough to work with. But I'd say 4 or 5, you know, sizes of the same brush, whether it's a fan brush, whether it's a flat brush, a synthetic bristle, you know, so that helps. So I hope these little hints and tips and tricks can help you. If they do, let me know. I like to hear from you in the comments section if my videos help you. A lot of people are telling me they do, and it really makes me feel good. And because you make me feel good, I try and find more tips and tricks for you. So it just keeps going. So I'm going to try bigger trees now. So let's say we'll end them about here so we can have some room for foliage and stuff, right? So let's say we got a big one, maybe here, and maybe another one a little further in, and maybe another one, a little one here, and maybe one here, and let's see. Don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, so this is a bigger brush. Let's see what happens. I'm going to go on my chiseled edge. When I push down, because the brush is bigger, it should get nice and big, I hope. All right, so let's see what happens. So we'll start up here, and then as we come down, we'll push really hard and see how it's widening out. Good. Now I don't have enough paint on it, so we'll just do it again. We'll go over it again, reload again with lots of paint. Start where you down here, because the top is fine. All right. Good. Good. Doesn't matter too much about the bottom because we're going to be putting flowers and different things around that. We might straighten this up here. Okay. Good. You want to fix your edge. Just use your chiseled edge to straighten that up a bit there. All right. Now let's see what else we can do. Let's take our brush this way this time. I use the chisel edge on this one, but I'm going to try, well, this one here, because this is the closest to us. I want a nice big tree here. So let's see. I'm going to use my brush this way now instead of that way. Okay, this is the vertical way. This is horizontal. So horizontally, we will come down vertically. So right on top of that. And we'll get more paint loaded up. And I'm going to start down here where I ran out of paint. Fill it in. You can come back up. Whatever way is easier for you. Just trying to keep those edges, see, because the edge of the tree, I don't want them crooked or, you know, I want that nice sharp edge there like that, see? That's okay if your trunk is, I'm going to take my chiseled edge and come out on the side here. Just trying to give you different options because sometimes it's really hard to get that edge. A little bit hard on that one, but that's okay. Okay, so maybe we can get one come over here down into here. So I'm going to use my chisel edge again this time. It's your preference what you want to use. Touch and pull. I'm going to kind of go on an angle. Flip over my brush because I got more paint on it. Still need more paint. Alright. Not bad, not bad. Good. Let's see what else we got here. This one here. Using my chiseled edge. Like I said, it's your preference, but depends on how big you want your tree. I'm trying to get that really nice edge there. Chisel edge gives you that nice edge. Good, 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 good. Now, you want to go bigger? Let's try this bigger one. See what's going to happen here. This one here. Now that one's back further, so it's not going to look bigger, so I've got to be careful with that. But I want to try this bigger brush anyway. I'll use my chiseled edge, and I'll use it vertical just to see if I can get a bit more control. But yeah, I got better control. Okay, so now I didn't want it really big, so I didn't push as hard. So, and I got a nice edge there, so that's good. So that's a nice brush too. So smaller brushes for the backgrounds, and for the ones coming forward, a bigger brush. Let's try this one here. I'm going to use my chiseled edge to come down. Now these have to be dry before you can put on your white. Come back up if you got to. Good, good, very nice. Very nice. I think that's enough trees. Do you? Let's let those dry. And we will... I'm just wondering if I should put another one coming over here to meet this one here. I wonder. Kind of gives it a bit more of a... Yeah, that's better. That's right, that's better. It's like this one here. We can probably join that one up. See, after you get them done, then you can straighten them up the way you want them. Even with this big brush, as long as you use your chisel edge, you got more control. So that can come off of here, see? And when we get our light colors on there, you'll be able to see them better. I think that should do it. Fix up whatever you need. Nice. Nice. Good. Now if you feel like you need to redo a few trees, add a few little extra ones in the background here, you can do that too. So even though we just did the basics, just make sure you're happy with the way they look. If you have to go over them again, you know, fill in some spots that you might have missed. Use your chiseled edge brush to get those edges. Just maybe do a second or third coat of black just to make it really nice and dark. Because these are it's your underpainting, it's your shadows. Okay, so do any touch-ups that you feel that you need. Get that much done. Make them nice and black. There we go. See? That one there needed some extra work. And I see over here it needs a little bit to darken up a little bit. Just make sure you get your edges. You don't want to ruin those. I'm just using chisel edge in my brush. Making them darker if I can. When it dries, it'll probably go about the same anyway. But I'd say a couple of coats because black is transparent, depending on the paint you use. But you can tell if a paint is transparent just by putting it on and seeing. If you can see through it, if you can see what's underneath, you know it's transparent. And leave 2 or 3 other coats on top of that when it dries. Make sure if you're doing different coats that it will dry first. This one here, I might put a second one there just because I made a mistake. Okay. Good. That's better. Stand out more now. So now make sure your paint is dry, and that way when we put our white on, you won't get any black mixed in and won't be all, you know, grayish colors and stuff. So I have 3 ways, I believe it's 3, there's probably more ways to put on your white to make them look like birch trees. So I'm going to show you 3 of them anyway. So one way you can do it, 3 ways, one way you could do it is to take your flat brush, chisel edge is good, and put white on it. Put white on it and add a tiny bit of purplish blue because we're going to do the background ones. They want to be a little darker. So just darken them up a little bit with a little bit of dark, with a little bit of blue. Maybe a little bit of red. You know, could probably get a little bit of purplish color. Okay? And then what you can do is you can paint the whole tree white. We'll do a couple. We'll do a couple in the back and a couple in the front so I can show you. So you can put on your color. I know we got the black there, but that's okay. Just showing you different ways you can do it. Or you can just put a tree in that's already white, okay? But so you can't see it that well, right? So the black really helps you. Right, you could do that and then put your darks in after if you want to do it that way. There could be 4 ways. So say you want to put a lighter one. You don't want to put the black on first. You just put white on first. Alright? And then you let that dry and then you put your darks in after. So we'll do that after. So you can put the whites on. If you want to put them all on white first, you can. Okay, I probably should have put some whites on for you. But let's say now you got your darks on. I'd rather do the darks first. I can see them better. I don't know, I just feel like I have more control for some reason. But everybody does it their own way. Do it whatever way works for you. Alright? Now, if there's some light coming in from the right, you can have the right with more light on it, okay? You can have a little bit. We'll put specks of white on. We can leave a shadow back here a little bit. Right now, I just want to get that white on there. That's one. But see how I turn to the darker color because they're in the background? So you want to create distance. You have to make your colors darker in the back. Okay? I'm leaving a little bit dark on the edge there on the left side. Just so, you know, we can know where the light is coming in and what is hitting. Alright, and then I'm going to try one right here. You'll be able to shape them up better then too. So the ones the furthest back, make them that bluish, purplish blue. So that's enough of those. We'll do some more with the other techniques. But you can see that bluish color pushes them back, right? And now we can do, if you're going to do one out, if you're going to do white out here, you would need to use more of a white color than the blue, because we can always put shadows in again after. But go into your white color, so we can make it nice and bright. Like I said, we can put shadows on after. So this is one this one here is a little bit behind that one. So let's go with this one. So you can put on your white. Gotta get that edge. That's what the chiseled, that's what the chiseled edge of your brush does. Gets that nice edge for you, okay? If you can't get that straight edge, use tape if you got to, or a ruler, something to keep it from going, you know, making squiggly lines or crooked lines. Or See, one good thing about this is you got that dark underpainting, which really tones down that white for you. You don't want a chalky white anyway. You want the chalky white, even if you want to use the brightest white you got, which is titanium white. If you want to do that, you can use that for small highlights in certain different parts of your tree or anywhere. So titanium white is the brightest you can get. I'm just using plain white right now. But I don't use a lot of my titanium white because it's expensive. It's more expensive to buy. So I don't want to waste it. So I want to use it for small details, small highlights. I don't use it like because white is the one paint that you're going to go through the most. You're going to use more white than anything else because you're adding white to all your colors, So that's the color. White and black are not colors, but they lighten and darken. So if you hear me saying color white, then that's just because I'm referring to it as a paint. Now, so you got that white. Let's do another one in white. Let's pick another one. Pick. I want to keep that big one so I can show you another technique. Let's try this one. But like I said before, you can put the white on first if you want, and then your darks. Just go opposite of what we're going to do today. This could be... If you put your white on, you wouldn't be putting black all over it. You'd be just putting in little bits of black. Okay? We got to get out there on the edge. Now I got to get that mess I made there. So this is one way. This is a longer way to do it. If you prefer, you could put your white on first and then your small bits of black. But I'm just giving you different ways that you can do it. So you could do it this way, or you could pretend that that was already white. Then I'll show you then how to put your small bits on, okay? So that's that much, and now that's with a flat chiseled edge brush. All right. The background ones are going to be, like I said, darker color. So let's try number 2. Now number 2 is the technique with your fan brush, okay? The number 2 technique. So the same thing goes. You want to make your paint a little darker for the back. I'm just adding a little bit of red, a little bit of blue, and my white on my brush, on my fan brush. Now this is a Bristle fan brush, and you can take that and you can go on the outer edge and pull in. Touch the outer edge and pull in. Touch the outer edge and pull in. All right, touch the outer edge and pull in. Now out of all these techniques, you might want to pick one that is the easiest and go with that. That way you'll get your painting done much faster. I just thought it'd be nice to give you some idea what way you can do these. Touch and pull in. Alright. Now I also have a fan brush that it's more a synthetic fan brush. And these work really well too. So you can also try synthetic. And you can... Synthetics, the only one thing about them, see how they spread open when you put paint on them? That's why I'm just not fussy about that part of it. But, you know. And because they got a curve, it's hard to get that straight edge. Right? So you got to kind of fight with it to do it. See? So the synthetic is okay, but you got a little more work to do if you want to use synthetic. But the bristle is easier. Even though it's curved, it goes on better. Because the reason is because they stay together. See? So the bristle fan brushes are better. For anything, really. Depends on what you're painting. See? If you're painting fur, on an animal, then this brush should probably be great because it's all open and you can drag all the fur lines over the animal, right? So you'd be able to drag and it'll be all opened up for you. So, you know, you have to see what your brushes can do. That's why I always say take your brushes and experiment with them. See, I'm not coming all the way to the back because I'm leaving a bit of shadow there. This is working pretty good. Just go right to the edge and pull over. And see, the fan brush will leave some spaces there for you so that you get those nice dark spots for your tree. And it gives that texture look, right? See that? It gives that textured look. So it, you know, and it's not much work to it. You want to add that dark one in the background, you can still add a little bit of... flip your brush around if you need to sometimes. I don't know, just sometimes more paint on the other side. It might be a little more easier to maneuver. Don't put a big lot of paint on your brush. That way you don't get blobs. It's easier to work with. See? And then you want to still keep it dark in the background, so you still make sure you got that little bit of a shadow there, that little bit of shadow color in with your white. Because you don't want, even though it is a bit lighter than what we already have for the base color. Alright? The base color was what you could put on, you know, before you put the black, or instead of black, I mean. But that looks good. So if you're doing the background ones, even without doing the base color ones, you can still put on your shadow color, right? Say just, there's a black one there that I didn't put that shadow color on, so I'll just put that on with this. Right? Just make sure you got that shadow color there. Yeah, so I had one back here too. Because you want that textured look. Alright. Do another one. Do another one over here. Just touching the edge, and as you can see, the bristles open up just enough to let some of that black come through. If you have too much white on, like you got lots of white on here, you just go back in, you get a small brush, and then you can add your black after. All right. And that's what you do through. If you have, make sure your fan brush is not real big, because if it is, it's going to be hard to control. Like my fan brush is pretty big. I don't know if I got a smaller one there or not. I'm going to look so I can get more control. Let's see, let's see. Now I have this one here. Don't know if that's any good. I'll try it out. You might buy fan brushes. They might have different shapes, right? So, you know. Let's try that one. I like this one. It's really straight, isn't it? Nice and straight. That might be perfect for this. Maybe. Yeah, that's perfect. And you might say, where'd you get it? Well, my fan brushes and my brushes are pretty old. I do have some new ones the last couple of years, last year, a couple of years. And most of the brushes that I use are in my Amazon shop. So I have the link there for my Amazon shop if you want to have a look around there. That's where I put all the supplies that I use and plus what I recommend and things like that. I have some new art supplies coming from a company that's asking me to try out their new paints, their paints and their brushes. And I haven't seen it yet, only seen a picture I think, but I put them in my Amazon shop, but I want to try them out myself, because whatever I put in my Amazon shop, I want to either, you know, do good research on it or use them myself. So I told them to send me the kit and I will try it out. I'll do it in front of you guys and I'll try it out and we'll both see. You'll be able to see firsthand how it is and how we like it. And then if you like it, it'll be in my Amazon shop for you. I think they're going to send me a code too so you can get a discount. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that actually. I like trying different things. Different brands, and most of them are, I'd say 90%. I don't even know very many that I've tried over the years that I was disappointed with. I must say, I wasn't really, everything I got in my Amazon shop worked out good for me. Alright. Now, that's what I did there. Let's do this one here. I like this brush. So if you look for a fan brush, look for a more of a straighter one than the curved one. But get both. Get you know, get whatever shapes you can get, because you can use them. You can use them in flowers, grass, everything. Once you get used to how to use your brushes, what they're good for, not how to use them, but what you can do with them. You can do it even with a sponge, kitchen sink sponge, you know. So it's what you take and what you can do with it. Don't let the brushes control you. You control the brush. You decide. Is this brush any good for me? Do I like it? But there was a video out that said the fan brush was perfect. It may not be perfect for you. It's perfect for the artist at the time. I'm finding it good. But if you can't get it to work, then try something else. Maybe a small liner brush to put them on individually. You know, I try to find fast ways to do things too, right? Because when I'm doing videos, I don't want to be here all day just poking and picking, and then you guys get bored going, what the heck is she doing? All right. So now the bigger trees, let's try a palette knife. So your third technique would be a palette knife. Now you can use a metal one or you can use a plastic one. Doesn't matter. We'll try a couple of different shapes, all right? So I'm just going to try this one. Let's see this. I don't know. They're such a messy mess, aren't they? Isn't that wonderful? So with your palette knife, I just put white on the edge, all right? Now if you're right-handed, just put it on whatever side you're going to lean up against. You pull over. So I'm left-handed. It's going to be the same. See? No difference. So what if you're right-handed, maybe you might want to start on this side, but if the light is over here, you're still going to have to start over here, right? Pull in. So I don't think it really matters too much. Some people say they can't follow videos that because the person is right-handed or left-handed. So I don't know if that would, because I follow a lot of people who are right-handed. I do. And it doesn't stop me. I just do my thing. I do my thing my way, right? So what I'm doing is I'm taking my brush, I'm taking my knife, and I'm going to touch the edge here, just the edge of the knife and the edge of the tree. I'm pulling over. Okay? Try to get that edge. All right, see that? See how the knife is leaving all those dark. That's what you need to do when you're doing these birch trees. You need to make sure that the black comes through, and in sporadic places. I want you to look at pictures of birch trees and just have a look at them and see where the that was an unhappy accident there. Okay, so you can always fix it with black again, see? So don't panic if you do something. Just the main thing is trying to keep that edge. Trying to keep that edge. Just get that done first. Don't worry about anything else. We can always fix it up after. Just try to get it on first. And then we'll worry about filling in places, straightening them out better. We don't want that chalky look, so put a little bit of blue, just the tiniest bit of blue in it, just to take that chalky look off it, but not quite as blue as the background ones, okay? Touch and pull in, touch and pull in. And if you see accidents, we'll fix them up after. Like that there is an accident, see? I'll fix it up after. Now, out of all these techniques, I pick out whichever one works for you best, all right? Whatever you find easy. I don't find this one too bad. Just a little bit hard to control. Little messy, so I'm going to fix that up now. So just soften, I'm going to soften up the edges a little bit here because I made a bit of a mess, but softening up the edges with my flat brush. Now, what you're going to do is take your same flat brush and we'll fix up this area here with a bit of black. Black on your flat brush. Separate those two trees. Right? And then bring in a little more black here and there. Wherever you want it, okay? Fix up that edge here. And bring in a little bit of, just pulling in a little bit of black. So we got to clean that up again. So that's probably the hardest way to do it, because you want to get a nice flow. You want to be able to put it on and just make it easy for yourself, okay? Because we got to go back over that white again. So, you know, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get that realistic look of the bark and get some realistic bark going on in there. If I had a sharper, you know, you can put it, you can use a small flat brush and put in some darks again. So with this one here, you can take a small flat brush and you can put in your darks. You can drag it in on this edge like that, or you can use the chisel edge to put in some darks, little bark, bits of bark. So you can put some here and here, here, like that. So different ways of doing it. I'm going to keep showing you. So we got some white, little bits of black on there. Need some highlights too on the edge, nice and bright. Just showing you different ways to get those done. So put a little bit of a highlight on here on the edge, because we decided that the light was going to hit off the right side, didn't we? You can have it on the left side if you like. I'm going to try some of my titanium white. I was just using, like I say, this is Liquid X Basics titanium white. So I was just doing my regular white that I have there. My cheaper version of white, which is Dollar and Rowney acrylic, is a big bottle here. I think I got it at Walmart for $12 or something. So, depends on your budget, I guess, and what you're doing. If you're doing commissioned art, you want to put on the best paints because you're getting paid for it. If you're doing videos, just explain what you're doing and show what's best to use. That way you can still save having to use the best paints for all your paintings and all your videos. You just tell exactly what you're doing, and then people will know that they can use titanium white for the highest highlights. Nice texture there, see? See how bright that is? Titanium white is, I must say, and don't forget, your background determines on how bright your highlights are going to be. So the background, darker the background, the harder it is to get those really bright highlights. Okay, so we got some little darks in there. We can use the same brush and just put on some of your darks wherever you want them. Maybe have a look at a picture of some trees. Use the chisel edge of your brush to put some in. It's like you go back and forth from left to the right, you know. Depends on the tree. And they're kind of long. They're not little dots. Kind of long. If you have a hard time with a flat brush, why don't you try to use a round brush? Try different brushes. That's what I do. I'm always picking up different brushes just to see if I can get a better technique. This one's a bit better. Yeah, there I got more control over it there now, see? That's better. Feels better too. Round brush. Now you might say, well, why didn't you tell us that in the first place? Well, when I do my videos, I'm doing them so that they're pretty raw. You know what I mean? Like they're pretty fresh. I haven't practiced it. Some I did, you know, before. I used to try to practice and things, but when I actually go to do the video, things still worked out differently. So so I'm pretty well doing things on the spur of the moment. I'm picking brushes. I have some idea what brushes to use, of course, but then there's sometimes that brush won't work out for a certain thing I'm doing, so then I'll pick up another brush and hope, pray that works. So you just add some of your dots on with your small round brush. And after all that dries, you can put more highlights on there, okay? So we got one here in the background. We can add some darks too. So it's background, so you don't need to have great big... We'll just put highlights on that after. If you don't have enough darks here, you can put some more in. So you're going to have to go back and forth with these, okay? You're definitely going to have to go back and forth with them. Alright, let's see what else we can do. I got different shapes of palette knives, right? So I'm going to try a couple. I'm going to try this one first on the biggest tree we have there. And I'm going to put the white on the corner of my brush, on the corner of my palette knife. If I say brush and I got a palette knife, you'll know what I mean. So I'm going to paint on the corner of my, lots of it there as you can see. I might have to scoop it off a little bit. Let's see how that works. I could be wrong. So you could take that, touch, and we can go down. Like that. See how it leaves all those, look. Ooh, my. Nice. So far, that seems to be the best one. I'm going to put on the full back of my brush. I'm going to put on the full back of my knife. And I'm going to start on the edge because I don't know, like, how much I want. I'm just trying different things. Maybe because because the tree is nice and big, you can lay it down flat like that. See? Right? Now, because it's more narrow. So if you're, let's try another palette knife that's smaller. Maybe we can get it all to come down. Let's try that. Try a smaller palette knife. Let's try that. It's fun, isn't it? Isn't this fun trying different things? Okay, this one is smaller, so I should be able to manipulate it better. Not bad. Ooh. Nice. Nice. I'm just trying to decide where to lay it down. Very nice. That's not bad at all. That works easy. Easy breezy. Because you're going to get texture from your knife. Look. That came out pretty nice, didn't it? We just got to do touch-ups with a brush now, okay? Yeah. Let's try I got another one here. I don't know if this is smaller again. Look. See? I'm going to try that one too. It's exciting. It's exciting when something works. I'm putting the whole back of it there, and I'm going with a smaller tree. I'm going to start with the corner first because, now like I said, if you're right-handed, you'll do the same thing. You just touch. Maybe you'll have to touch over here. But that's where you want your shadow. But that don't matter. You can put some shadows in there. Or you can touch on this side, right? And pull down. Yeah, so that's what you can do. So if you're right-handed, you can still start over here. And make sure your paint is on that edge. Wherever your edge is going to touch, right? So either left or right, doesn't matter. Left or right hand. Alright, so then I'm going to just drag that down. I need more paint, as you can see. Alright. I'm going to start on the edge of my knife and on the edge of the tree, and then I'm going to come down and make that decision if I want to lay it flat. There we go. Yes, I do want to lay it flat. That looks cool. Look at that. That worked. I just need more. Yeah, I like it. All right. So you don't want to go over your edge here, because if you do, too wide, too big. So these here, you can take that and pull in. I like the smaller brush, the smaller knife better because I got more control. Alright, so you can do that, or you can pull down. I went over one of it before because that one has to be fixed up. Just going right to the flat of my knife. I will clean these up and fix them up, but they don't look too bad. I'm going to try this one here. That's nice, got a bit of gray on there, grayish, bluish color, which is nice underpainting. And then you can put some nice highlights on top. Look at that. Then you can put some black on after. So that if you got a little palette knife home, I think you'll enjoy that. Give it a try. If you don't, we'll use a brush. Use a fan brush. This is great for scraping on those whites and leaving some darks behind automatically. That's what I like about that. Just got to have enough paint on your knife and lay it down flat when you feel like you need it, or leave it on the very edge. So we already did these back here with the fan brush, so but you can still go back over them again if you want to add a little extra highlight. I really like the way it's just making it almost, I don't know, it's just kind of a loose look to it, you know. We'll fix them up again. Not to worry. Nice. All right. So this one over here, we can use a fan brush, if you like. Touch, pull in. Fan brush is pretty good too. It's not bad, is it? Less work. Just touch the edge and pull in, touch and pull in. I'm thinking maybe this is probably the easiest one. The knife is messy, but it gives you a really good effect. If it's too thin, just tap on it. Just tap, tap, tap. That looks pretty good. I kind of like the fan brush. Thinking now that, you know, the palette knife is really nice, but I'm kind of liking the fan brush a little bit more. So get yourself a nice little fan brush and get a nice bristle. Tone down your white with some blue, a little bit of red if you want to make kind of a purplish color. We still want to keep those colors back there, but a little extra white just to brighten it up a small bit. Yeah, I'm thinking the fan brush might be easier for you. Okay. So any trees you don't like, either paint them over with black or paint them over with white. Take your fan brush and redo them. Okay, so don't, you know, don't get despaired. Don't get discouraged. Just think of it as practice. Now that went too bright on you, can go in with some black. Let's try that. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Let's try. Let's go. So I just got some black on there. I'm moving away a little bit so I don't have them all on top of each other. You can just touch if you want, just touch. If they're really narrow, then you don't have to worry about coming way up, like over too much. All right. That one needs more white, I would think. Put some more white on that one. See, they'll just go back and forth. I'm just trying to show you different ways to do it. You pick the best way that you like the most. I'm thinking the fan brush, I think you might be really happy with the fan brush. But if you don't have a fan brush, then you've got to come up with other ways to do it, right? Let's add a little more highlight there. I like that one. So even though these are back, you still want a little bit of highlight maybe. Could be the sun shining off from somewhere, you know. Little bits of sun sneaking on parts of it. Isn't that nice? So I'm only going over the ones that I already did just to show you that, you know, you can, if you're not happy with them and your fan brush is the best way to do it, then you can go back over it again. Repaint them. See, the more little highlights you put on them, they look a little more realistic looking, don't they? I like those ones in the background too, they're really nice. I must say the fan brush is really good. But I wanted to show you different techniques just in case you might be able to make it work for you. Play around with them. Like I said, we want to keep them in the background more, so I'm trying to give them some definition, but yet not to have them standing out too much, but there could be some sun back there, so it all depends on your imagination also, okay? It's a lot to do with what you want and things like that. So let's clean up these out here. Now, let's get those cleaned up. Let's use our flat chiseled edge brush to clean up those edges. So I'm going to get my white flat chiseled edge brush and I'm going to clean it up. So as you can see, the fan brush makes it so much easier, doesn't it? You don't have to be going back and forth like this. But it's good. I must say, I really am happy with the knife too. I remember I was teaching some art classes, and there were kids, I don't know, 9, 10, 11 years old, and I said, let's take out our knife so we can do some painting. And the little fella said, a knife? What are you? A knife! I got frightened to death. It was funny. I really like that edge, that darkness there. I don't want to touch that too much. I'm going to add a little bit of a shadow on the corner with my purplish blue color. And over here, clean it up there on the edge here. Purplish blue. Okay. It's nice, isn't it? See that, you know, you fiddle around with it and it comes out really nice, doesn't it? You got the blacks in there. Little shadows on the side. Let's put more shadows in there. Let's put some over here. Makes a difference with that. Now, like I said, we can't keep the edge on the edge here. Try a bit of tape. A little bit of shadow looks really nice, doesn't it? A little bit of red, a little bit of blue to give it a purplish look. Right, and over here. What a nice difference though. Nice. Let's give it a little bit over here too. I like that shadow more than that dark edge there. Just use your chiseled edge. If you go off a little bit, don't get too worried about it because you're going to put in more background foliage. Very nice. That's too bright, I think. You? Kind of like the dark one over here. Yeah, I think I like the dark right there. Do you? Like that there? That's nice, isn't it? I'll leave those alone. These big ones in the front, the ones that come out more in the front of you, I think that's better. And those back here are nice with those shadows on the edges. I think I'll leave those. So, you might say, well, you messed up that one. Well, no, I never. Let's put back. I'll redo that now with the fan brush. See? Back and forth, back and forth. That's the way it goes. Just go back and forth with your brush. Alright, and then if you want to put a little more black back there, you can put some black on your brush, on your fan brush, and go back the other way, okay? Use a fan brush, or you can use a flat brush. Pull over. But the fan brush kind of spreads, see how it spreads open some of those, right? But the flat is pretty well closed together. So that's why I use the fan brush, because it opens up the bristles. Look. See? See? Isn't that cool? You want some more here? Turn your brush if you want to, and you want smaller ones. I really like that. I'm not going to touch that. A little bit down here, just a little bit. You can use your flat brush to get some of these smaller ones in here. Just use the corner of your brush too. Or you can use your little round brush. Just use your corner of your brush and touch in a couple of these. Right, you can have some going up and down. You need to look at pictures, but most of the lines are not going up and down. They're going in, right? They're going this way. You know, they're going that way, so. So if you have a hard time with your brush, just keep switching around till you find the right one. You still go back and forth with your knife. You can put some black on the top and just pull in a few with this. Just go up and down like that, just to scrape on a bit of black, depending on what you want there, right? Look, see? See how it just falls off and it gives it all these little dots and spots that you're looking for? See? So that's a good way too. So instead of using the whole side, you can just use the tip. So put some black on there and just use the tip, and that will create all these smaller ones. You can go down if you want to, because it's coming off in these little bits. Alright, pull over, you can pull over, but I found put some more black on the very tip of your brush. There's too much on there, just wipe it off. If you drag it down a little bit, it'll fall off. Flip it around if you want to come down and pull over. So much fun. I'm having too much fun. I'm always having too much fun. Just coming down and pulling over. Down. See how it's falling off? See? So, I mean, like, get all these techniques. Right? See? Isn't that marvelous? All the texture you get. Look. Just by touching a little bit on there. Getting all those little black things that you want to come off. Those black shadows or the black holes in the trees. So to sum it all up, it seems that the palette knife is great for scraping it on, or for tapping on, just using the tip of it with paint and just letting it fall off as you move it around, okay? It falls off, see, and then it separates, right? And just using the tip, you got more control over what's going on, right? Depends on how much black you want in there. You have to look at your tree and see what, you know, how much is going on there. Now, if you put too much on, just wait for it to dry, and then you can go ahead and go back and put more on. More white on, I should say. So let's say we want to put some here. We can use this technique if you like, and just touch, just let it dribble on there. You can do it that way, or you can do it the way we did it before. I am finding more control over the top of the palette knife. Look, much more control. I just filled it up again. But look at the better control. See all the little ones coming off? See? Now because I put a little bit too much on there, I go back with white. I'll do that in a second. But wait, when you're going back and forth with white and black, make sure that it's dry, okay? But I don't think that's too bad at all. So I'm going to wait for that to dry, and while I'm waiting for it to dry, I'm going to take this knife, and I'm going to, I got one right here, I'm going to try that with white. White and a little bit of that purplish color, okay? Mixed in with the white. Just going to use the top of my brush here. My goodness. Just going to use the top of my palette knife here. And so I got better control. And I'm just going to put that on there. Just need more paint. Need a little more globs of paint when you do this. When you're using just a tip. Okay. See how it jumps over and leaves the black behind. Right? Look at that. You can even turn it around if you want. Just get more paint when you can't get it to come off. Nice. Now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to worry about those edges. I'm going to fix those up now in a minute. That's not hard to do. Let's get a flat brush and some... I'm going to wait for that to dry or it'll turn grey on me. So, I'll let all that dry and then we'll do some touch-ups and they're going to be done then. So just touch-ups. I'm probably going to put some white on my brush. I got a small flat, like I said, experiment with your brushes. I might just put in a little bits, touches of white to give those highlights, get those highlights in there. On the edge, I'll work with the edge first and I might pull in some. Might add a little bit of highlight there and there. Hopefully it's not too hard for you. I really want to make it easy so you don't have to struggle. What you should do is take one or two trees and put them on cardboard or, you know, some kind of a practice sheet and practice and figure out which one you like the best. That's what you should do. Practice a couple first before you actually try to do a painting, because what happens is you get frustrated because you're ruining your whole painting. If you practice on, it's like you're practicing on your painting that you did. You probably got a beautiful background, and then you start putting on these trees and you can't get them right, and then you get so frustrated. At least we got some idea before you put them on. Then you know how to fix it. You know what you need to do. Alright, so practice first. I would suggest what I should have did. This is my practice. Tell you the truth, I haven't done a lot of birch trees over the years. I've done some, but I just used the one method of putting on the dark, and then I put on the either the dark first or the white first, and I'd use my fan brush. Right, I never tried too many other ways to do it. Okay, just want to let you know. There's lots of people out there painting birch trees. There's lots of videos out there for you to look at and compare. Alright, so, you know, look at all the different ways of doing them and pick the best way or come up with your own. I'm just cleaning up the edges here now. On this edge here, the nice bright side. See how that little bit of highlights makes it look really nice? Alright. I might need to add a few more Keep reloading. You need lots of paint on your brush. But not blobs, but like enough that it's going to come off when you go on your tree. They're looking pretty good. When you clean up your edges and clean up the parts that need to be cleaned up, it starts to come back to life. See? Because this is the light side, right? So you're okay to do this. All right. All right, so that's good. So this one here, we have to fix that up. So I'm going to put on some black first, because I need to get that shape better. Chiseled edge brush is wonderful. Really is a big help. And when that dries, I can probably put on some. This one here needs a little bit more, do you think? I want to put it on with my knife, I think. I'm going to put a little bit more with my knife. I'm kind of empty there. Just using the tip of my knife with some black. It's kind of scraping it on. See that? It does it for you, see? Makes those nice dark shadows for you. I like them. Just try the knife. See if I can get a little extra light there. Little speckles of light. Look at that. Nice. And I got the titanium white. See, a little bit brighter, isn't it? Just here and there. Now I'm not doing anything elaborate. I'm just kind of throwing on these little extra pieces of light there. Just picking up some white on the edge of my palette knife. Get rid of that there. I don't want that going up and down. It's supposed to go sideways, right? It's supposed to go horizontal, not vertical. But look at those little highlights. How nice they look. What do you think? You can let me know in the comments, you know, what you think and what you think worked best and what you liked the best. What part of the painting process did you think worked the best, or you liked the best, or what's easier for you? And let me know, because if you let me know how I'm helping you, then I'll know that I'm doing a good job. And I know that you're happy, because I do get a lot of comments. I must say, beautiful comments. They say they loved my techniques and loved the way I explain how to approach your paintings and how to mix your colors. And so I get a lot of comments, so I know that there are people out there I'm helping, which makes me want to keep trying to do even better. That's why I came up with all the magic whites and the magic mist and magic, because it's magic when it comes to using it with your acrylics. I haven't used it today. I didn't need to. Alright, sometimes you need it and sometimes you don't. I think I'm okay now. It's the ones in the background, you don't want them to be too bright. Ones out in front that you want to be brighter, right? Oh, they're kind of nice, aren't they? What do you think? I like it. I do. Took a bit of work, right? Didn't it? Took a bit of work. Took a bit of experimenting what works best. That's how you do it. See, you experiment. Try different things out. I like it. Okay, so I think that's it. I mean, I can see that there needs to be work done, doesn't it? Needs a bit of work there. So you look at those details at the end of your painting and look for things that need to be fixed, need a bit of work. Look at that last. If you happen to find it before the end, before you got to the end, you can certainly go ahead and try and fix it. Right? I'll let that dry before I do anything else with it, because there could be another tree behind that one, see? That's what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do. Alright, so I'll fix that up now when that dries. Now. Taking my knife out again. And I'm going to add white to the top of my knife. Now that that's dried a little bit, I can pull on a few. Look at that. So cool. Now what I should do is add some of the blue and the red to darken it up, because that's in the back. I'm trying to keep it from standing out too much because it's supposed to be in shadow. So make a little bit of a shadow color. There we go. Good. Okay, so if your colors are too bright in the background, just add some shadow color to them, alright? So now I'm going to start adding some foliage.